Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of Dwarven Lords, the January RimWorld miniseries. The third Saturday of every month, I stream RimWorld, where I take an idea submitted by my Patreon patrons and Twitch subscribers, and poll to determine the most popular idea, and then stream the winner on Twitch as a miniseries. If you want more information about the RimWorld miniseries, or would like to take part in the submission process, please visit my Patreon page or Discord server. Here are the links. They can also be found in the description of the video. Without further ado, here is Dwarven Lords. I think the best introduction is to first go to this screen here. We have the ideology on the right, and the rules and goals on the left. This is a slight adaptation of the original suggestion. The original suggestion was more about darkness and not human primacy. But I figured because we are supposed to be amazing craftsmen, the human primacy, or in this case really it's the dwarven primacy, would fit well. The rules, dwarf only, that kind of makes sense. We can't be the Dwarven Lords with any humanoids. No moving, no outposts, so basically I can't abandon the map tile. We ride or die, you know? Never at war with the other dwarves. And then 2 researchers maximum, so I can't employ more than 2 researchers. Goals: to build a glorious underground fortress, and to become a Thane, king, or queen. So, pretty straightforward. The map tile here, let me show you, is one giant world, seed historian coverage 100%. And we are pretty far up north in the tundra. You know, those snow dwarves. And look, my timer's already at 7.5 hours. Well, thank you all. You're all far too kind. I have a mod, and the mod list can be found in the About or in the Command mods. And I have a mod that allows me to build in impassable tiles. So I'll show you the map tile in a second. If you read the About command here, Dwarven Lords is a RimWorld miniseries, marathon, and subathon, streaming only today. The storyteller is running around losing his fun. Of course, he's our favorite. We're a small faction of dwarves with a mission to make a mountain blessed by the dwarven gods our home. Pretty straightforward. So we have the other Dawi. And if we take a look, we have some of the hostile dwarves, and then our Dawi allies, and some other tribes. I did go over our ideology, but here it is in full. Some of these options can only met when you're doing dev mode, like for instance, Tunneler requires that you love fungus, but I disabled that because, you know, dwarves don't eat mushrooms exclusively. And here's the map tile. It's very boring, I know, because we are the craftsmen and the carvers. We have to turn this slab of granite into something nice. And that's the challenge. And here we've got our starting 4 characters. So, Pangea, named after plate glass. Lazarus, after ALS. Vomorix is Vomorix, and Randalthor is Randalthor. These are names I picked. The first thing I want to do is to explain some other limitations. Some challenging limitations, might I add. There is no natural resources. None. This mountain, 100% granite. There is no steel or anything else. The only way to obtain that stuff is through quarries. This mountain is a blessed mountain. There is, however, a blessing as part of the mountain. So that is something that's going to help us a lot. One of the things you might notice, because we live so far north, is that the growing seasons are very short. Only a third of the year. So there's going to be some challenges. And let's get started. The first thing I want to do is to dig into this mountain geographically centered, because that's what I'm about. And holy cow, up to 8.5 hours. Okay, I don't think it's going to be a challenge to get up to the full 12, not at all. At some point, I just might want to hide the the timer. Thank you all for being so generous. I spent a lot of time working on this, and I am super excited. So this is the geographical center. It is all 100% overhead mountain, with a small exception, which I will show you soon. So here is the middle, right? This is the middle here, and I'm going to set up stockpiles right at the middle, and let me introduce the characters, actually. So Pangea is our leader here. She, undergrounder, bloodlust, jogger, and kind, with intellectual, shooting, medical, social, cooking. We'll give her a crossbow. Lazarus is a social, melee, cooking, plants, medical. We are going to give you the axe. There it is. Randalthor is our miner, our diggy dwarf. So melee, mining, intellectual, social, medical. And we're going to give you the axe, the helmet. Oh, actually, just the axe. Let me cancel that. Just the axe. And then Lazarus, I'm going to have you get the shield, the hand axe, the helmet, and the armor. 1 tank. And then last but not least, Vomorix, our craftsman. Construction, crafting, art, social, shooting, the other crossbow. We start off with some stone bread, which is kind of like pemmican. A bit like pemmican. And then I will quickly cover the research. Yeah, it looks a bit different. We are kind of medieval only. Again, some caveats, but kind of medieval only. We have the main research, which all should be familiar to you, except for Glassworks. That is added in by mod. Doors research. This is actually some of people in our community's work. LB Maya, if you're listening on YouTube. And then the dwarf research tree. It is no small tree. Full of furniture and structures and walls and doors. Oh, so many doors. Most of them are hideous and I'm not going to be using them, but oh, so many doors and weapons and brewing. And then at the very end, the end times, which is sort of a dealing with the fact that there's no electricity. So food preservation, light, field stove, that kind of stuff. All right. Well, we're going to get moving. And thank you all for gifting out subs and cheering bits. I'd mention you all by name, but I'd be here till midnight doing so. Is the mod available to download? Yes. In fact, if you just click the mod's link, it actually brings you to something where you can just subscribe to all of them all at once, which is kind of convenient. Oh, so there were some other changes as well. We didn't know if your front door will be stolen this time. It shouldn't, actually, because that is one of the things LB Mayan fixed. So the reference is in the Wardens of Eriador. Jack tools or Jack mods don't work as well as one would hope they would. And the net result is that enemies could uninstall your doors, your defensive doors, and just walk off with them. But LB Mayan actually fixed it. So I'm using the LB Mayan patch to the door mod. So I think what I'll do here is start to plant. Let me do some assignments. So first things first, assign all to no doctor care yet, because medicine is going to be really hard to come by for me. And then for lavish meals, I'm going to just rename this no raw and just remove raw food out of it and corpses. I don't want to eat corpses or raw food. And we could just delete everything else, which takes a while. All right, so no raw anything, and then work priorities. Firefight, basic, wardening, growing, mining, constructing and crafting, and research. Very, very, very quick. This is an interesting colony map tile? Oh, yes. Yes, it is. Very, very non-standard. And I'm excited about it. Well, now that I've found the geographical center of this mountain, this blessed mountain here, let me remove all the plans that help me determine that. And we're going to start digging. Now, if you're wondering, this is a big mountain and I'm digging very slow, don't you worry. I have plans for that too. Every good dwarf knows the secrets to digging quickly. Hey, Zayla. Thanks for making it to a stream. And, all right, let me try with this activity feed. Red Dragons, Viper, Shay, Trustin, Mud, Flick, Idiot Jack, Beavis, not as bad as Frankenstein. Good name. Matt, or Sven, as you're commonly known as. Bogimp, lobotomy fail. Frank, Aruku. Oh my lord. It's like reading the credits after a movie. Shield, Marauder, Kilgore. Twice, actually. More Matt. MVP, or Mass. Off Meta Medic. I'm usually a Meta Medic. Oh, let me pay attention to the game too. Who is... Alright, Lazarus. So here's what I was going to do. And I'll get back to the activity feed. Randall Thor, you are going to change roles here, and Lazarus will be the spectator. You're going to become a mining specialist. That should help dig this hole. This diggy hole. Emmy, Beavis, Fangface, Viper, Lobotomy, Beavis, Shield, Lobotomy, DJ, Accidental Aggro. Oh my god, it just keeps going. You guys are too kind. Elon Lacrosse, all Radios, and welcome all. I'm excited. Is this our own Lonely Mountain? It is. It is our own Lonely Mountain. We have one adjacent ally, though. Khazid Aldun. So, trade potential there. And let me speed this up. So we were just about done hauling everything to the entrance that we're digging out of our mountain. And then we'll be planting the potatoes as best we can. So now, Randall Thor is blessed and will be digging faster. And then next, a new role change. Pangea becoming our Dwarven Lord. And yes, as you can imagine, work drive is going to be used here in just a second. Alright, Vomorix, it looks like you're idle. Let's see. There might be some trees for me to cut down. So, one thing you might have noticed is there is a severe lack of biodiversity, trees, plants, animals, etc. I guess there's like a warg and a bunny. So, that is almost it. And then also you could imagine that trying to hunt on this map tile is going to be very frustrating because it takes you hours to get to the other side. So that is something to plan for as well. Pangea for leader name, I actually didn't pick it. It wasn't my choice, so there might be any hidden meanings that you think are ascribed to the name are not ones that I chose for myself. So there is the leader change. Let's keep going. Let's make Vomorix a... Nope. Oh, whoops. Flip that around. A hammerer. Oh, actually, let's not do that yet. So here we have a Steel Dowie stone cutting table. And I'm going to start to make stone in bulk, so that we can actually start construction. And I will put... Yeah, let me just start that and I'll put torches in later. Alright, Lazarus, you just keep planting those spuds there. We might need a lot of food. I also have to be careful that the local fauna isn't stealing my food, like that bunny down here is probably going to try to steal the food, I'd imagine. And I don't have a lot of it, so I gotta be careful. And welcome all in to at least another 9.5 hours of this. I am as eager as you are. So, Pangea, hit work drive. And now Randall Thor is going to be mining like something ridiculous. Yep. Oh, yeah. That one's got some giant blood in him. The speed at which he's going. Alright. Let's install our first light. I'm going to install a light 6 tiles in. Right in the middle. That should help liven things up a bit. And then... some sleeping spots. There we are. And this is sort of the close of the first day. I don't have enough space to bring all the food indoors. I'd like to, but we're just not quite there yet. Hey, Randall Thor, could you make more room? And yeah, we do have some rock pillows. They should be exceptionally comfortable. Vomorix, let's go with a roll change to a hammerer for you, which is the crafting specialist. It's the most restrictive, but definitely one of the more beneficial ones, considering all the crafting that we're going to have to do. And Randall is having no problem turning this mountain into dust. There is. He's now production specialist, and last but not least, Lazarus. Becoming our Rune Lord, our moral guide. All right. Let's keep digging. At this point, what I think I'm going to do, I have some room here. I'm going to convert into a single deep. That is a very specialized dwarven mining turn. The single deep. And we're going to space these lights out every 15, so... Actually, I'm going to go just like that. Perfect. Oh, and I guess it's nighttime. There we go. Everybody has a roll. All set up. I'm watching you, Bunny. You better not be coming for my food. Oh, 2 of them. Uh-oh. This reminds you of Dwarf's Fortress? It will very quickly not remind you of Dwarf Fortress once I start research. Free treats for Yoda. Oh, and let me open up that Yoda cam so you can see him in all of his beautiful glory. So it's a big mountain. I'm on a 300 by 300 map tile, so this mountain is like 288 by 288, something like that. More or less. Hey Yoda, don't moon the camera. That's just rude, dude. So some of the first things I want to do is to get a research bench. I'm actually going to get 2 of them. You love his little sweater? Yoda, over here. Over here. Yoda. He's having a bit of a fussy meltdown, I guess. Come on. Yoda, turn around. What is he doing? That's your peanut. There you go. He was straight up just refusing. So when we make stone, let's just drop them on the floor. That'll be a little easier. So I want to use all Dwarven style construction here, which is why I haven't set up tables and chairs yet, because I want it all to be dwarf styled. All right, just to confirm, this is 15 tiles. Yep, that's 15 tiles. I'm trying to just light it up as efficiently as possible, because we pay for the wood and there's not a lot of trees. In fact, Pangea, if you're idle, let's have you start killing these snow hare. I'm pretty sure that this warg is going to come for us next. And with how close the animals are to the edge of the map tile, if you don't land a killing blow, like, near immediately, it's very possible that the animals will then leave the map tile. So we might have to bait the animals into traps in the future. We'll see. Are we concerned about infestations? Yes, the whole thing is overhead mountain. So there will be infestations, but the infestations aren't going to be what you would expect them to be. Let me just put it like that. And for first research, I'm going to pick, and then eventually I'm going to have you all polled about it. Oh, I'm already getting raided. The Confederacy of Guaca. And they are attacking immediately. Oh, lucky me. Well, Pangea and Lazarus and Vomorix and Randall, we're going to have some visitors soon. So, I'm lucky that, well, some of these potatoes are probably going to get burned. We'll see. I'm probably just going to leave Randall to keep Randall Thoring, because he's got a mining pick. Actually, mining picks are quite quite dangerous, quite effective as weapons. But here we go. They are closing in on us, so let's get to it. Unfortunately, I have Lazarus, like, way out of the range here. Ah, darn. I was hoping that we'd be able to snipe him as he moved by. Now, the armor that Lazarus is in is pretty defensible. So there shouldn't be much of an issue with wounds. Alright, you know what? You don't get to use my own home as cover. That's not how this goes. Oh, thank you for the silver, too. So, your wounds patched up by Pangea. But Morix, go back to work. And you... Oh, okay. Well, it's going to be like that, isn't it? These bodies here get fed to the marsh. Because that's how we do things. So we're starting to research Dwarven furniture. Or Dowie furniture. And Randall is going for broke. Trying to explore the mountain as much as he can. Now, one thing I could do is to start making... there's not really a Dwarven equivalent of a horseshoe pin. So, I'll start the horseshoe pin now and then work on Dwarven specific soon. Oh, not for chunks. So we have this door now, which means this barracks is now inside. And I'm going to have Pangea clean it up so that it doesn't suffer cleanliness penalties when trying to research. So now it's cleaner. Not clean, but cleaner. And we're going to spend one more night on the ground here, I think. Wondering how Randall is coming. Okay, no longer forced work. Oh, you still want to do it. Okay, sure. We're starting to get a little moody. Noted that I'm going to need to build some niceties for us dwarves soon. We're going to have mental breaks, and that would be bad, especially if it was a food binge. I don't have a lot of food. As far as wildlife goes, there's still a few ibex that I could hunt. But of course, without refrigeration, that food does not stick around very long. Just gotta be careful about that. I might want to counsel Vomorix. Okay, it worked, and it increased his mood by 8. Because we were a little worried about that. Fewer mental breaks as possible, the better. And furniture is now researched. So, with furniture done, I'm going to start with Glassworks, and then after Glassworks, I'm going to have you all vote. So in terms of furniture, I'm going to make Dowie beds made of granite. We're going to have a barracks for now, but eventually it's going to be upgraded. As for corpses, let's put the corpses out here. We'll put only animal corpses and only fresh ones. Now once we have the beds, I would also like to get a Dowie bench and Dowie table. I'll just start calling them Dwarven. Dwarven bench, Dwarven table, and let's also do a chest. And then a stool. In fact, instead of a bench, I'm just going to do 2 stools. I think it looks better. So here's some of the construction. Masterwork. All right, this is going to go to you, Vomorix. And I'm going to expand the basic little bunker we have just a little bit. Probably getting rid of that door. Randalthor is getting kind of to the heart of the mountain, which is exactly where we want to be. So let me get rid of all these beds, the temporary beds we don't need. Every other bed is excellent, which is great. Great. And then Lazarus is done hauling things in. And once Lazarus is done entirely, I will have Lazarus then expand the potato farm. Randalthor. Yeah, we're watching the stud. Exactly. You're the real stud. Look at how much you're mining. Whoa, there we go. Blessed Mountain. So, this is about the only farmable map tile anywhere in this mountain. If you take a look here of roof, this is, of course, not roofed up. This is all natural soil. And, yeah, I mean, is it a volcano? Maybe. I don't know. But I do know that I'm going to try to make good use of it, planting as much as I can in our very short planting season. So, we'll get that done. Randalthor, the next thing I want you to do is to shave the mountain a little bit. Give it a good shave. I would know something about that. Just a little shave here. Because I have plans for this mountain. Rad, the architect, coming out to play. So did I pop out dead center? 5 up, 5 down? I did. Cha-ching! Plant an anima tree? Well, that's not possible. Plus, we're not tribal, so wouldn't really benefit me at all. But all of the food is now pulled from outside, which is good. Lazarus, you're going to have a lot of work to do. And then the other thing I'm probably going to want to do is to expand this to a 3-wide. Like that. Oh, there will be monsters. That I can assure you. Balrogs, maybe not, but monsters, absolutely. Alright, so I'm just keeping this cordoned off here for the purpose of making sure that we don't have this technically be outside, slowing down our research speed or ruining it in any other way so that it stays nice. And I'm trying to keep it as lit as possible. Here's my lighting. I have a lighting overlay mod. Kind of like heat map. Ooh, masterwork chess table. Barracks is almost pulled out of awfulness, which is good. Can I show the pawn stats a bit? I did at the start of the stream, so if you really want to see it, you can rewind and check it out. So now that I have furniture, something else I could do is a Dowie butcher table. Get that going. And then I'm going to want maybe a campfire to cook on. And let's move, instead of moving 4 chunks all the way to the start, we'll just move the, move that. So now I don't have any dark spots yet, because I've been careful about measuring it out. There Randalthor goes. And Lazarus going to the end of the tunnel to get rice going, because the grow season is very short. Just a little reminder here. The grow season ends 1st of September. So the end of the summer. So I really only have 15 days to grow crop. It's not very long. Alright, So there's the butcher table, and let's set up butchering of all animal corpses that aren't insect or chaos. King, thank you for the resub. Scarecrow for the bits. Randall for bits as well. I'll try to keep up now with the ever-growing activity feed. Thank you all. I'm so glad that you are able to join me. I like how I have a single tree. Winter would keep this tree. Dwarves don't. Mortalent, thank you for the resub as well. Welcome. And Creeb, or Crebe? One or the other. Either way, thank you. Yeah, the time's going up. Every time you sub or tip or anything like that, it goes up to a maximum of 12 hours, which we are closing in on. Oh, who are you? A lost dwarf named Gedrin has tunneled up from an unknown mine. You're very hungry. Super immune, greedy, and kind. Well, if you were underground, greedy makes sense. You're a very good cook and a pretty good artist. And gonna get raffled. There it is. First character added to the series. So, good luck. If you are new to the channel, subscribers of mine are all eligible to be raffled. So that's the way it works. I only raffle live viewers that are active in chat when you see that raffle timer up above me. And it goes to just random one of you. And then in the case that it raffles off to one of the original 4, like Randall Thor or Vimorix, I would re-raffle it. So Gedrin, let's give you some tasks. I'm going to make you our designated cook because you seem to like to cook. I'm also going to make you our artist because you are good at art. And then you are also a bit of a miner yourself with a mining pick that you came with. Bogimp, thank you for gifting out subs. I still have some of that the art you made for me. I was just thinking about it. I had to order a 3D printed part for some missing piece of my computer. And it reminded me when you printed up Wendigos. It's very cool. It's going to be Nightbot? Yeah, sometimes it's Nightbot. Can't be helped. Well, one of these miners is not like the other. One of these miners is just not the same. In terms of gear, you came with... You're pretty dapper. You came with a warm cloak and a hat. You're looking nice. You're a mine beardling and a miner. What you don't have, though, is a bed. I just realized. So, Vimorix, as soon as you're done with that, make... and I'm just going to call you Dowie for now. Battlebeard. Which is, obviously an ironic name, given your 2 shooting and 4 melee. This dwarf doesn't have a beard. Yeah, well, this dwarf is female. Glassworks is done. And I'm going to let you guys vote on what's coming next. I think what I'm going to do is just arbitrarily pick something. I'll just pick gardening. And then have you guys actually vote. So, let me explain some of them. Some of them will be obvious. So, I will do a poll here. What should we research? There's obviously Psychoid Brewing for Psychite Tea. Probably not for the harder drugs. Yep, we could do that. We could go with ranged weaponry, which would allow us to make Dowie crossbows. We could go with walls and structures, which allows us to unlock Dowie columns and buttressed walls, which are tougher. We could keep doing gardening, which unlocks some crops. So a bile mushroom is like dwarven mushrooms, dwarven barley, dwarven stone root, which makes stone bread and tobacco plants. We could also do brewing or medicine. These are like dwarven brewing and dwarven medicine. So the choice will be up to you. I'll add one more. Recreation. All right, so there's a giant list of things for you all to vote on, and pick your favorite. No wrong answers. Oh, are we a colony of drunk dwarves? I am okay with this. So, Pangea. I did queue something up to hunt. Come on, land a killing blow, or it's gonna run. Alright, forget it. Go home. You tried. And just a reminder, in 20 seconds I'm doing the raffle, so if you're a subscriber of mine, type something in the chat if you haven't in the last 5 minutes. Bogimp, thanks for all the gifted subs, and Kithkin Lord, Exane, and Flying Nostril, thank you for the resubs. And good luck in the raffles to you. There are some rituals that I could kick off that allow me to potentially recruit more Dawi, and I'll be doing that in just a second. So, raffle goes to Aggro. Congratulations, Aggro. No better fitting recipient. So if you're Aggro the cook, are you like... Is this Hell's Kitchen? I'm thinking. Kind of like a Hell's Kitchen situation, maybe? Shield, thanks for gifting out a sub. Ooh, we are seconds away from 10 hours left. When does it max out? It maxes out like in an hour and a half. Oh my goodness. I didn't want to set the requirement too high. Especially for my first subathon ever, but you guys have shown a lot of love and force here. Mistakes have been made. I was ready. My body is ready to be sacrificed. We have a bit of a tie. Brewing has a slight edge, but yeah, we'll go with brewing. It technically won. It won by 2 votes. So brew, baby, brew. The thing is, I do know how to grow hops. So let's get a line of hops here. And Byron, thanks for gifting out subs. I hope you win too. I wish everyone could win. I'm definitely planning on Western Settlers being one of those series where, like, a lot of people can get characters. Kind of as many as I can manage. Vomorix, you don't have to work through your, the party here. Are these Lord of the Ring dwarves? They are not, no. Nope. Not even a little bit. Lord of the Ring dwarves are cuddly and sweet. We are not cuddly, nor are we sweet. What's the strategy for bug control? There are no bugs. There's something else, but they're not bugs. They're not easier, though. They're probably harder, if any. Alright, so the other thing I wanted to do is to set up a dump stockpile for the chunks. So that we can just cut in the wonderful sunlight here. So this here is for chunks only. You can tell when Randall Thor is no longer mining. Sounds real sad. I would be tempted So what is Randall Thor? Randall Thor can't cook. Okay, so aggro should definitely not become a mining specialist because then I'd be unable to cook. Hey, buddy. Oh, some puppy treats. Yoda likes it. He is a good boy. Pagan Fears, thanks for the sub. And Diab for the resub. Hi, Goku. Cheers. I know you can't see me, but I'm drinking. So I have unlocked Glassworks, but I have to be careful about when and where I use Glassworks. So the next thing I wanted to do is let's plan out. These are 50 tiles and then 20 more for a nice long entrance hallway. And then at this point, I am going to dig out. What's the biggest that you can support? Here, let me just do quick napkin math. So 6, so 12 empty. So 13 by 13 is probably the biggest that you can do without collapse. Got it. All right, so a little 13 by 13 action in there. And I got rid of, okay, I got rid of that pillar. So I obviously don't want to actually make it. And it's summer, so we have 15 days left of farming, and then it gets too cold. I'm definitely mindful of that. You know how to play RimWorld because of me? So you're subbing? Hey, you're welcome. If you have questions, feel free to ask, even if they don't necessarily pertain to the series at hand. Because I'm happy to answer whatever questions I can. Is rough living one of the memes? No, it's not. You can just type rules and you can see all the memes for yourself. That will show you all the memes, the precepts, the goals, etc. How about healing some heal root? Dwarves have different... so heal root, one of the advantages of heal root is, of course, it doesn't die in the cold, so it can grow through multiple seasons. But dwarves have better healing other than that, so here we go. I finished research. You can vote again. Next research. I'm going to queue up gardening, because gardening was the runner-up last time, and then if it changes, I'll pick something else. And was that a tip? Or is my alerts just lagging again, like they always do? No, that was a tip. Hey, Trusted, thanks for the tip. Cheers, buddy. Can't say cheers without cheersing. If only this was Dwarven beer. Well, I gotta say, I'm not that much of a fan of mead. It's okay. Good mead is okay. Bad mead is super gross. So Lazarus is just about done sowing all of the heal root. And I think next up, I'm going to sow some cotton. Because a lot of the recreation and clothing and stuff relies on cotton. You know what? Actually, I'm not going to do that. Because I don't think the cotton is actually going to survive. So I will take your advice in the chat and sow some heal root. But dwarves here have different types of medicine that are not heal root based. That is better. But it would require me to unlock advanced gardening and then medicine. Take your time, aggro. Take your time. So we are down to 30 stone bread, which is kind of low. I would send someone hunting, but there's just not anyone that I want to stop what they're doing. Like, I want Vomorix to be crafting and Pangea to be researching, so... There's not really anyone that should hunt at the moment. And that's probably way more heal root than is necessary to sow. So, let me cut that in half. Thank you for tuning in to Dwarven Lords, the January RimWorld Miniseries Marathon winner, streamed live one time only, January 15th. If you have any feedback or questions for me about this series, let me know in the comments below. Keep in mind that this series has since concluded, so feedback cannot be incorporated. If you're curious about the mods that I've used, a link is in the description. If you would like to take part in the miniseries selection process, please consider joining Discord. The link is in the description as well. If you would like to submit your own idea for future miniseries marathons, please consider either becoming a patron on Patreon, starting at $1 a month, or subscribe on Twitch, which is free if you have Amazon Prime. If you don't wish to become a patron or subscriber on Twitch, but want to vote in the polls, Discord is the best way to receive notifications for community polls. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to all that support the channel. Until next time, friends.